What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Lean and Mean Academy, where we talk about one truck, big profits. In today's video, we're talking about something very familiar to pressure washers. If you've been in this game for any amount of time, if you're brand new, maybe it's foreign, I don't know. But we're talking about shooter tips. The tip that goes on the end of your gun that can pull chemical from a downstream injector, or you can use it as a soft wash tip to launch your chemical up on the side of the house or the building in order to clean it. Are these parts a necessity? Are they myth? Or are they clutch? Which one are they? Are they snake oil? I don't know. I know some of you guys got an opinion. I can't wait to hear it in the comments section. Before we jump into this and I start going through some of the videos that guys have sent in with them using all different types of tips, if you're looking to start your pressure washing business off in 2023, and you're wanting to get the premier information on the subject, Justin Rogers and myself, we launched the Local Domination course 0 to 7K. This course is the OG. It is truly the first, the original, and so many guys in the inner circle who have gone way beyond multiple six figures in their business got started with this course. It handles chemicals, it handles processes, but most of all, it is business-oriented and a marketing course at its core to get you from $0 to $7,000 a month. It wasn't built to get you beyond that. A lot of guys have gone way beyond that, but the information is there to really launch your business. Get the Local Domination course 0 to 7K. It'll be the first link in the description, first link in the comments. Let's jump into this. Shooter tip, myth, or clutch? Shooter tips can come in a variety of shapes and sizes. Some guys have them just attached to what we call a 4-banger, a holder, and they're using just an old spray tip, and that's what they like to use. Some guys like to get stainless tips. There's aluminum tips, and there's also, which I have here, the bougie of bougie, the Ferrari, the Snap-on tools of shooter tips, if you will. Let me focus in on this. This is a titanium shooter tip. This is from the Skunk Wash Works team. It is pretty much the Snap-on tools of, look at that. That's a billet stainless holder. It can go all the way to this level. All right. So anywhere from $8 all the way up to $100 or so to get you a shooter tip. So let's be honest. Is it necessary to even have one? Let's jump into the video and see. So right here, what he's got is he's got a tip holder with 4 tips on it. And he has a 0-degree nozzle. It's probably a cheaper nozzle right there. Probably, I don't know, $10 or something like that. Running it through an 8-gallon. All right. All right. So this first one he's using is just the 0-degree tip. Looks like it's atomizing, creating, what we would call just, it's a mist, and you don't really want that with chemicals, but a lot of guys use it. You could probably try to maybe even upsize if that's an issue, but that's pretty normal for those tips. They have a pretty good amount of cavitation, which creates that misting effect. Let's go to the shooter tip here.
Shooter tip.
Much tighter stream.
Going way past.
Okay, so stop the video. I like the shooter tip in this situation simply because it obviously is a tighter stream. It's less mist. It's less fat of a stream. And when you're trying to shoot way up high and you want to rinse with that 8-gallon, that's really what you want. You want to apply chemical and rinse, and you don't want to have all that mist going all over people's cars and windows and plants and everything like that. All right, very good. That's cool. Okay, so 1 for the shooter tip. I would say a negative for the nozzle in this video, at least. But I really think that when it comes to tips like this, guys need to understand one thing, frankly, that it's a $35 part, okay? And you don't need to be making life and death decisions or things like that on a $35 part. Another thing that guys need to understand is that a tip is not going to replace your pump, okay? It doesn't matter. If you have a tip and your pump sucks, or it's a plumbing issue, which usually it is a plumbing issue. You know, I'll tell you a story. We had a guy who used to come, just a contractor who used to come to one of the stores here I would buy pressure washing stuff from, and he was always having pump problems. And it was like every time I was there getting bleach, he was there with a pump problem. And come to find out, I saw that he was running a 3/8 hose off of his pump. Now, any soft wash pump is going to require a minimum of 1/2 inch or 5/8, or even some of the higher GPM models, a 3/4 inch outlet line to not kill the pump, not burn the pump up from all of that 200 foot of restriction that pump is having to fight against. So a lot of times when a guy has a qualm with a shooter tip, it's either one, he just bought the wrong spray tip and it's either too big or too small of an orifice, or it's his plumbing situation. The tip is not the magic. The tip will give you an extra foot, 2 foot, 3 foot. And if you have all of your plumbing and your pump right, it's going to get the most. It's like the icing on the cake. It's the cherry on the pie. Okay. That's what a shooter tip is. So is it snake oil? I don't think it has a chance to be snake oil, frankly. Maybe your pump is snake oil. Maybe your line in and your line out is snake oil. Maybe you should get all the plumbing from the tank right, the pump right, and all of the plumbing out right before we look at any shooter tip out there as the culprit to not getting the height you want. And then there's also the big thing that we have to factor in here is that some things don't shoot to the moon, right? If this, shooter tip and pressure washing, if it was a 50 caliber rifle, I think we could hold it in higher regard, maybe hold it to a higher standard as far as the range, right? We're not getting 2,000 yards out of this 12 volt. Or even a gas pump. We're not going, Lord have mercy. I can't shoot 90 feet in the air. It's a problem. I can't clean the water tank, the water tower from the ground. Guys, you got to understand there are just limitations. But here's the trick. You need to look at your plumbing in, your pump, and your plumbing out. Then look at your shooter tip. All right, let's take a look at the guys from Q6. See what they have to say about this shooter tip.
What's going on, guys? It's Garrett and Tim at Q6 Cleaning Solutions. I just wanted to show y'all a pretty cool tool that Tim picked up a few months ago. It's the Tall Reach Tip from Southeast Soft Wash. Today we're washing a home. Some could say at the peaks it's probably shooting about 35-ish feet. But Gunner, come around here. My brother's on the camera. And take a look at how far we're able to spray and rinse with this tip. Now we are running an 8-gallon a minute machine, and we've got the ball valve turned all the way on open. But that's probably from where he's standing about 45 to 55 feet.
So he is down elevation a little bit, right? He is given credit for that. That's an Alabama boy right there. He's got all his calculations in. So good on him. So shooter tip's working good. Let's keep rolling.
Easily. It sounds like a whisper in the wind. Absolutely. And in certain places, that's not just touching it. That's hitting it pretty hard. So we're very happy with this tool. It's something that I would recommend everybody throws on the trailer with them. it's saved us just in the last few weeks of us getting to play with it a lot. It's
oh yeah, I mean, we can show you the noise here. So this is off, and you can hear, I mean, you barely even hear it, and it's just a whistle. I mean, we were back there hitting the chimney. Chimney's probably 25 feet away, and it's taking off black spots on the chimney. And they didn't want us to put any solution on it, so I was like, let me just test it out. It did the job without any real solution on there, and I was still pretty far away. Definitely doing us justice. You know, we don't really like getting on ladders.
We have that same tip for our 24-volt pump. We just haven't put that together. It's a really cool toy that I'll be making another video about probably in the next few weeks whenever the time's right. But for now, I mean, we're watching a home this size. Now we are having to get on a ladder some, but that's part of almost any job that's big. With a 12-volt, and it's doing a killer job. And we got some wind today, so the 12-volt can definitely do it. Don't let anybody tell you it can't. It's a lot cheaper than a gas engine. So, all right, guys, that's all I wanted to talk to y'all about. We'll holler at you in the next one.
Cool. I think what we can derive here is that it's not about whether if a $35 tip is worth the price. What it really is about is this gentleman's hitting 55 feet with his 8 gallon a minute. Okay. He's got his plumbing right. He's got plenty of water. His pump's obviously performing at the peak. And he's hitting stuff. He's not really even having to get a ladder out much. Obviously, they're hitting dormers from the ground. They may have to hit inside of that area beyond those dormers, that vinyl spot. They may have to get in there with a ladder a little bit. But nothing really to speak about. I mean, you can't really shake a stick at that. So I think this video today here debunks the myth, if there ever was one in your mind, whether or not you should get a shooter tip. Get the one that fits your machine and make sure that your plumbing is tight. Make sure that it's right, and then you will get the peak performance out of the tip. It's not magic. It's not rocket science, and you're not going to be able to shoot the moon. So just set the expectation there, but hopefully the tip itself will give you a few more feet, maybe 5, maybe 2, maybe 1. Maybe it's 6 inches, because that's all we need anyway, right? I'll see you guys in the next video.